Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It is Thomas Seabury Canarian, and you are watching another Email Academy Part 3, Holiday Email Campaigns That Drive Results. Y'all, the holidays are coming up. We got Nally celebrating Halloween. We got me celebrating Halloween in a way, somehow, some way. And we got Julia celebrating Halloween and the holidays somehow, some way. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to two of my favorite people, because I got a lot of favorite people that I work with over here at Sinch Mailjet. We've got and Mailjet and Email and Acid. We've got Nally Lynch, our senior product manager from Sinch Mailjet. Nally, how are you doing today? Good to have you back.
I'm great. How are you?
Good to see you. Good to see you. And if you've got an email from Mailjet, you probably heard from her before. One of my other favorite people, Miss Julia Ritter, senior email marketing manager over here at Sinch Mailjet. Julia, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Thomas?
I'm good. So happy to be here with all y'all. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we get started here in just a moment, like I said, we are talking about holiday email campaigns that drive results. So, first and foremost, make sure you throw those questions in the Q&A tab. That should be on the far right-hand side. On that side, make sure you throw those questions in there so we can get towards them towards the end of the Q&A. Also, I'll be joining you on the chat here with some fun resources and all that fun stuff, along with some other wonderful Mailjetters that we've got here in-house today. So, I will go ahead and let Nally and Julia take this away, and I will see y'all towards the end. All right?
Sounds good. See you soon.
Thank you.
See you in a little bit, Bob.
All right, let's kick off with introductions. Julia, do you want to take us away?
Sure. So like Thomas said, I'm Julia. I am our senior email marketing manager. That is a mouthful. If you've received an email from one of our 4 brands, that is from me. You're welcome. So happy to see you.
I am, as Thomas mentioned, Natalie Lynch. I am the senior product manager at Mailjet. I spent over a decade, as close to the real timeline as I'll give you, in product and engineering. And I really focus on innovative solutions to enhance that user experience. So that is us.
It's us. Yeah.
I also want to introduce some awesome people that contribute and really help us bring this all together with Ilya and Alex that will be joining us in the chat to answer any of your questions technically related. They are amazing technical support with our platform. Also want to give a big shout out to Laura, Dale, Cara, and Thomas you just met, because none of this could happen without them. So definitely give them shout outs. They're around to answer your questions, provide resources, and make sure this event goes smoothly. With that, we will kick it off.
So from watching this chat, we got everyone from everywhere. I love it.
I know. Colorado, Berlin, Chicago. Where are you located, Julia?
Chicago. What's
up? I'm located in Atlanta. So anyone repping from Atlanta here? All right, kick us off.
Okay, so what are we talking about today? I mean, the craziness that is the holiday email. I just saw Dirty Bird. I'm sorry. The craziness that's a holiday email storm that's about to hit your inbox. How are you going to make your email stand out apart from everyone else? So through that, we're going to show you how to set goals, choose the right content to meet those goals, how you're going to craft your emails, and then how we might be able to help you with some Mailjet holiday templates. So without further ado, we're going to get started. So first things first, you're going to set your goal. And it's not just I don't want you to tell me like, oh, Julia, my goal is to make more money. Duh. Like, of course, we know that. I mean, email's the channel that brings in the highest ROI. No secret there. But, we're putting our customers first, right? In marketing, we're always trying to solve a problem that they have. So what is a problem you can solve for them? And what is a goal that you have? And how can you combine those? So you want to try to define that as much as you can before you execute, because then you're not just sending an email out into the ether and that has no purpose, because then, it's going to fall flat. It's not going to get the engagement you need. It's not going to do for your brand what you need it to do. it also helps to have a goal or like for measuring later, so you can see what was successful, what wasn't successful, what you could improve on later. So that way you can, know exactly what you're doing, basically. Sorry. Okay. So there's a few different campaign-specific goals we're going to have here. Natalie, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think the only irony here is like the holiday season was when so much slows down. Email marketing is when it really picks up, right?
Yeah.
So this is such a prime time of year for us.
Absolutely right. And I mean, I think people receive hundreds of emails in their inbox during the normal season, and then during holiday season, there's just so much competition. You want to make sure that you're standing out and giving them actually something worthwhile, rather than just sending them something that you're just sending it to send it. It doesn't make it a win-win for both of you. So a few different goals you could have. Product adoption. Do you have a new feature coming out that you want to promote that was really going to help them during the holiday season, like Mailjet templates? Or do you just want to inspire brand loyalty, like this could just be something like a happy holidays message or a happy new year message, something general, but just to show that you care, something, a touch point so that your audience is still thinking of you over the holidays. Maybe you're just educating them about something, which more often than not, I think education emails are the most powerful, because you're giving yourself credibility, your brand credibility, and you're giving your audience a place to know where they can find more knowledge or more subject matter about that topic. And of course, you're increasing churn. Like I said, kind of all of these is kind of to decrease churn. You don't want to lose your audience when there's so much noise and so much going on and so much. You want your audience to think of you before, even like throughout this holiday season, just so that they come back to you, so that they, don't forget that you exist amongst all of their other chaos. Natalie, I see that we have a poll. Do we want to do that real quick?
Yeah, so I'm going to kick off a poll, because obviously there's so many campaign-specific goals, but we will really want to know with this audience, what's your biggest challenge when you're executing your holiday email campaign? So I'm going to open this up. Make sure you go to the polls tab so that you can respond. We really want to know, are we struggling with managing deliverability or standing out in that crowded inbox? We know this is the time of year when sales hit, emails start hitting, and those of us who are in the email marketing industry, we're tuned in our inboxes. So let us know what you are struggling with, or what you find your biggest challenge when you're executing your emails. Again, go to that polls tab and send in. It looks like votes are coming in, and so far, I mean, we're neck and neck with standing out with crowded inbox and achieving those high open click rates. You can almost kind of connect those two, right? If you're not able to stand out, how are you getting people to open your email and clicking into it and getting into that content?
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm hearing is engagement. We're focusing on a big thing for our audience here is engagement. You just want to make sure that you're being seen. We see you.
I mean, we all want to be seen, right?
Be seen.
This is wonderful. Okay, I'll leave it open for a little bit longer, but we're going to hop into our next slide, and we're really going to focus on how we stand out in the inbox. So this is great content for our audience.
Okay, so next, I'm going to choose your content, of course. Think about it this way: what does your content, or what does your audience respond to most? I know Natalie responds the best to humor. She responds the best to puns. And if I want her to like an email I'm writing, I'm going to write something sassy and topical and something with the TikTok trend.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong.
But there's different ways you can do this, right? So you want something that is going to resonate with your brand. Testimonials. Do you have testimonials from other customers that are going to persuade new customers to commit to something? Is your blog? We do a lot of blogs. If you have a new product, or if there's something new in the news that you want to discuss, like the Gmail and Yahoo updates coming. That's a big thing. You know, something a little more educational that they need to be aware of. Statistics. Do you have any data following it? You know, we get hundreds of emails in the inbox per day, but there is actually a statistic behind that, and I just couldn't think of it because it's 9:15 in the morning where I am, and give me a break. Discounts, huge over the holidays, right? Can be great for boosting short-term sales, but you know, could be great for new customers too, like a new customer promotion, or just a new way to show, I'm trying to think of the word, appreciation.
Yes.
Thank
Customer
you.
appreciation.
Yes, thank you. Also, a big thing, personalization. Personalization is huge. If you can do it in your copy, if you can do it in your content, if you can just show some way that there's a human behind your emails and you actually care about your audience, you actually care about what they want, and you're going to give them what they want, that's going to establish more brand loyalty, more the connection between it. You're trying to foster this relationship, right? Think you've got mail. You know, everyone likes relationships through email. Just try to give them what they want. And if that's probably the theme of what today is, right? Natalie, don't you think? Just like put the customer first, give them what they want.
Right. I mean, our goal is always to increase our return on investment, right? We know that, driving the bottom line. But at the end of the day, if you put your customer first, you're going to get the results you want. So I think it is really just a feedback loop that is great. We don't have a poll for this, but throw into the chat, like, what do you respond to? We're all in the email marketing industry. I would love to hear what you respond to best in your inbox as a consumer, not as an email marketer. Humor, I love that. You're already stealing my heart. I'm a humor person. I just am.
Yeah.
Skills and great design. Yeah.
I also want to note that not all of these are going to respond, or not everything is going to work for your entire audience, right? That's why segmentation is key. Humor, for some people, the joke may not translate to another region.
Yeah. Someone mentioned their humor emails bombed, and it could be because it's not tailored to your region. We are an international brand, and I know I come up with a lot of funny puns that Julia's like, Natalie, that won't resonate in our audience. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's definitely important to think about who you're sending to if you're going to do humor. And that's a good call out.
And of course, this is something we should note, like A/B test. If you're not sure, A/B test everything, and just see what they click on the most, what they open the most. If you're not, we think you're funny too. But
if you want to show off your skills, throw a joke in the chat. I'm always here for humor. But yes, segmentation is super important. A/B testing is super important because even bad results, knowing that it bombed, teaches you something, right? So, and this is a little bit of an art and a science. Okay,
absolutely.
Let's move on to our next slide, and
now we're getting into it.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna craft great holiday emails today. I do want to throw out there that we have, and I'll grab the link as Laura talks, or sorry, oh my gosh, Julia talks. It's early my time too. But we're not only gonna talk about it today, but we're gonna show you what it looks like building it as we walk through these steps. And I'm gonna send a link out, so if you guys want to play along, we have a demo. You don't have to log in to use it, so you can kind of see what it's like building alongside with us. So Julia, kick it off.
Perfect. Okay, so with design, let's start there, right? You have your visual elements, of course. You have illustrations, stock images. You could just make this all about your layout, or, you know, and when I say stock images, I could mean like something from Unsplash, where it's like, you know, stock photos, or you can use something about, or like of your product. Like if you look on really good emails, there's a lot of good examples there as well. A lot of heavy imagery there. I saw someone say that they love a good designed email, and I'm the same way. If it's like if it's designed right, like Drunk Elephant has greatly designed emails. Love their emails. And I don't use their products anymore, but I still subscribe to their emails because I want to see them because they're so cool. So like there are different things you can do to, set that off if you don't want to make it too text heavy. Something with holiday too, and this is why I love the holidays. You can go off brand. Of course, I know you need your designer approval or your brand approval, but
Hey, real quick.
Yes.
The email that you mentioned, that was really funny. Someone asked you to repeat the name of it. I think we should
The drunk elephant is the product. It's like skincare.
Skincare.
Yeah. And yeah, they're just really cool emails. Just really, yeah. And they're punny, so Natalie would like them too.
I subscribe to them for sure. All right. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Keep going.
So I know it's a weird name, drunk elephant. So on brand versus off brand. You can do either, of course. Holidays, I like to go a little bit off brand because it's a chance to be kind of creative and a little bit more out of the comfort zone, a little bit more festive. Eye-catching colors, of course, they could be your brand colors. They could be something completely different. Have fun with it if you want. Of course, stick true to yourself, stick true to your brand. But I think this is the time to mix it up if you want. Images or illustrations, I kind of just covered. GIFs are huge. GIFs, get added in like images now. They don't work everywhere, but it's something that you could do to add in a little flavor, just to keep it a little bit different. People create GIFs of their products, which I think are so cool. I would love to do that. We create GIFs in our emails for when we're trying to demonstrate something in an email. Love to do that. So it just depends. And also want to point out that plain text works too. We had a great session at Email Camp that was about plain text versus designed emails and which is more effective. Of course, the answer was depends on the audience, depends on the message. But if you want to do plain text, do plain text. Like if that's what works, if you think that it's gonna like resonate the most, it gets to the point. It shows it's personal. It's a little bit it's more personal than like a designed email. So people know you, it could come off across that like you just sent it from your inbox. So there are good qualities about it if you wanted to.
Absolutely. I subscribe to the Awesome Socks Club emails by Hank Green, and they're often plain text, so personal. So like you're getting the message from the owner, and they do really work. So we're going to drop into a little bit of a demo. Before, Jacqueline, that's a great question. Throw it in a Q&A. We would love to kind of talk about images and the sizes that are appropriate. But I want to throw it in the Q&A so we can get to that later on. Okay, so I'm going to shoot out a link in the chat right now. It is the demo email editor for Mailjet. You don't have to log on, but if you want to play along with us as we go through this, let me make sure this video is going to play in here. Uh-oh. A little bit of technical difficulties. I don't know if it's going to play on the slideshow.
Funny. What if you...
All right. Give me 1 second. We're going to go ahead and just share my screen, make sure so that we can do this demo on this PowerPoint. Because it is not auto playing in our current tool.
It's okay. I do want to note someone wrote in the chat transactional emails. They do their transactional emails as plain text. As you're doing this, I'm just going to comment.
Love it.
Completely agree. Transactional emails as plain text, I think, is like the most common, and I think that is very successful. So very good point, and I forgot to mention that. Thank you.
All right, here we go. So we're going to talk a little bit about creating, but we're also going to use a pre-built template. I'm kind of highlighting that these resources on Mailjet, but there are so many out there. Really Good Emails is a good resource for it. Mm-hmm. Having that inspiration, I don't know about you, but for me, blank screens are they haunt me, right? So if I have to write something or if I'm starting out from scratch, I get blocked there. So yes, it is Awesome Socks Club. It is, it's a really cool product. Sorry, I'm answering chat. I'm just back and forth here. So starting with pre-built templates can really help you jumpstart it, and then you can just really quickly customize. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So let's click on to the next. So here I've already loaded our Halloween template. We have set the goal of this as being to increase engagement with or product adoption with our templates. So I loaded in the template, and then I'm going to go through and I'm starting with that content, with the imagery, right? So I'm going to do this in steps, which is kind of how I approach emails. Everyone starts differently. Maybe it's text, maybe it's images. And I'm linking all of those images so that if they click on them, they're going to go to where I want them to, right? So that first one I set to our blog. So if they click on the image, it's going to hop them over to our blog. It's going to, it's going to enable them to hop over there. So I'm adding different images throughout here. As you can see, I have them all pre-saved in our image gallery. You can also upload them depending on how you do content, but it allows me to really quickly get in there and set my layout with this, replacing the images that were already in the pre-built template with what I need for my brand. So what I was saying about creating the pre-built emails is I'm using a template to kind of jumpstart my building of the email. So I'm not starting with a blank screen. It's not all white. I don't have to do all the colors. I can just adjust what works for me. There's so many different templates out there. And it really, really helps to kind of get that inspiration to start with. As you can see, I'm going through and I'm making sure all the images have links in them. That's because sometimes, I mean, I've gotten used to just being able to click images. I don't know about you guys, and then take me somewhere. I think it's really, really helpful if I'm in email and I can click the brand logo and it just pops me to the site. So that's really what I focus on here, just really putting that content in that speaks to what the message is that I'm trying to get across based on the imagery that I selected. Julia, any other things you want to add before I move on?
No, just that you can also add alt text, and you should add alt text to your images as you go through here, which just makes it easier for screen readers and accessibility.
Yes, I did not do that in the demo, but that is also something you should definitely do. Okay, next screen.
Okay, so copy, my favorite part. Make the point of your email and your call to action very clear. Remember, they're going to be scrolling through their inbox. They're going to be like going through, or deleting if you're like me. So if you do get the chance to get their 8 seconds of attention, you want to make sure that your point is there in their face. And so it's very clear what you want them to do. You want to, of course, make sure your tone and brand voice are still aligned with your message. You don't want to be too out of the box for holidays. It could be fun and it could be different than your other emails, but it should still stick true to you. Personalization, I think, is key. You're going to see a lot of this over the holidays of, oh, you forgot this in your cart. Do you still have your eye on this? Or like, this is on sale for Cyber Monday. How can you do that for your audience? How can you do that to make them want to come back or to come and, take another action, come and read something else, come to visit your website, bring them back, re-engage them. And if your design is plain text, this is going to be even more personal than a designed email. So, their first name, their quality, like any attributes about them. Of course, be careful with data and GDPR, but, just show that you're paying attention to them. Show them that you're a human behind there, and that you're actually putting an effort. So.
Absolutely. And everyone definitely has different processes when it comes to copy. We got a little demo. This is going to kind of show us the placement of it. But I will say, I already have this pre-written, right? Because there's a process. Everyone goes through a process. So when I'm building the email, I'm not thinking of the copy in advance. I will say that's the funnest part for me too. I love, Julia will send me her emails and I love getting to review them. I don't write them as often as her because I'm not an email marketer with this company, but really figuring out how you can have fun and reach your audience. So I'm taking that copy we created and I'm plopping it in there just with that pre-built design so that I can really get it going. Again, it's super, super helpful with these templates because they already have the headers outlined. So I don't really have to fine tune a whole lot unless I want to. If it works for what I'm putting in there, I don't have to change anything, which I find so helpful because this time of year, I don't know about you guys, but I've got a million things going on, and being able to get something done and across the line really quickly and look great, so important to me. So I'm also, when you go in there, I have the read more links. I'm linking those out to the blogs too. This can be really helpful when it comes to data because as you can see, I'm putting like multiple places where people can click. And you can later look back at that data and say, like, what really resonated with them? Where did they click? Where were they in my email, right? So you can get really insightful information on your users on how they're behaving when they do open that email. Are they clicking on images more? Or are they clicking on that read more? Are they clicking on CTAs? So helpful. When you are thinking about copy or designing copy, Julia, like, how do you go about it? Like when you put it into the email?
I'm sorry. Getting over a cold, guys. When I go in to put it into an email, I usually start, even when I'm writing, I start with the headline first. It just kind of gives me, and I like start off with the craziest ideas. And then I fine tune it from there. Because again, like the humor and things isn't going to resonate with everybody. But, if I can't start with the headline, I start with the body. Just write it out. And then you keep fine tuning from there. If you wanted to use design to mold the copy or copy to mold the design, you can also do that. Like if you had this template, you could say, okay, I need only one sentence per body, like this little paragraph. And that'll help you as well. It's kind of like, okay, I just need to write one sentence. Okay. These holiday templates are amazing. Blah, 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 blah. And that way, you're going to fit in that design still. So.
Absolutely. Jacqueline, another great point. If you're using background colors, you really need to make sure the background and the font colors are blind safe, but also readable, right? Generally readable. I got a package the other day with a postcard like thanking me, and it was the dark blue with the black, and I loved the message, but I was like, I really want this to be a white text. Making sure your users can see your message and it's accessible is so important.
Yes.
Oh, I just hit replay. That's fine. Here we go. Okay, so now we've kind of created the whole message. We're going in there, and I'm going to send it over to you to talk about what we're really digging into once we've got the email built.
Perfect. Okay, so you have your email. You have the right audience for your message segmented because, like we said, segmentation is key, and not every email is one size fits all. So you want to make sure that it's, going to the right person and the right message is to the right person. Yes, Natalie.
Can I throw my pun in here?
Yes.
No matter the season, no matter the reason, segmentation and CTA placement is important.
That is true. She's going to put it on a sign above her desk, y'all.
I am.
So make sure your right audience is segmented, that they're going to resonate with the message so that you get the most out of your campaign, but that your audience also does as well, because that's the most important thing. So there are so many clients possible for users to access your message. When I say clients, I mean Gmail on mobile, Gmail on iPhone 14 from 2007, so many granular things. Preview your design where you can, when you can. I send more emails to a bunch of people to test the links and everything, proofread it. But we also use Email and Acid. We also use Mailjet. And we're going to show you, Yes. Some email previews that we can show you what we mean, how to preview something. Also, you're going to send or schedule for a time that's appropriate. We have, for myself, we have 4 different geos for Mailjet, right? I'm not going to send something at 3 p.m. Here, or like in Chicago. Well, I wouldn't send it anyway, but where it's like midnight in Paris. We're not going to do that. So you just want to make sure that it's the right time for your audience. So keep that in mind. Oh, and scheduling is key too. I schedule everything.
Yeah.
Avoid the anxiety.
Exactly. It's terrifying to have to click the button yourself. Make the computers do that.
Right.
Okay, so getting into that, yes, testing is so important, right? And there's so many ways of doing it, and I'm loving seeing that there's so much love for email and acid in here. Mailjet has, so this basic preview, you can check out what it's going to look like on mobile, as well as that desktop view. But the real test here, and I think everyone in the inbox or in the chat who's loving on email and acid will love to see this. We actually have their inbox previews, which we call email previews in Mailjet, native in app. We're using email and assets technology because it's amazing. As you can see, there's so many clients. There is Android, iOS, global. I mean, there's just so many web clients, so many cell phones, and you really need to meet your users where they are. So making sure what it looks like. I saw a lot of comments on making sure emails work in dark mode. So if you have color set up, and I kind of did this intentionally to show it, as I'm going through different ones, you'll see how it fits in the inbox. I mean, as you move through clients, you're really going to see those differences between the clients in the size. And again, this would indicate maybe we need to make some adjustments so it shows up correctly on Outlook 2021 on a Windows 11 machine. Depending on, a lot of us have stats as to how their users are visiting, but like Outlook is hard. It's hard for all of us. So making sure that it looks good in the inbox is so important. Mailjet's, all of their templates and all of our emails are responsive. That's also very important. You want it to be responsive to the device in the inbox, because you don't want it to end up looking a little bit weird when the user reads it. That can send kind of an unprofessional message. So you never know how it's going to look. And I wish I owned all of these devices. And sending test emails to people is also so important. Julia sends them to me. I love getting them. But checking out what it's going to look like in your users' inboxes is so important. This is me sending a test email. Definitely something that's important, especially since so many of us use Outlook. So we can really see what that looks like. So before we send, we really want to make sure we're testing to every single audience, or as many audiences as we can, or if we know we're targeting a specific audience on a specific device. Amazing to be able to test those things before we hit send. All right.
Okay.
Next. All right. So it's time to bring Thomas back for, oh, there he is. I summoned him. It must be the hat.
You summoned me. I'm here. You've conjured me. I'm here for the best part of the Q&A. All right, y'all. Let's take a look at these. Oh, before we get going, first, don't forget, we got to upvote the ones. All of our audience right now, go ahead of the Q&A. Upvote the questions that you want to see right now so we can make sure that we can go ahead and knock some of these out. But, okay, let's see.
Can we do, sorry, just that one more poll? Yeah. We're looking through Q&A.
Yeah, go ahead.
One more poll within the poll tab. Please go there. And it's going to be, how often do you utilize pre-made templates for your holiday campaign? We just want to know, have you ever? Do you never? No, tell us what you think.
People. Oh, here we go. It's rising up. We got some always, we got some oftens, some rarelys, and some nevers. Let's throw that up here really quick. There we go.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, for those rarely and nevers, if you want to throw in chat while you're hesitant to, I would love to know that as a product person.
Yeah. Is it because you have a designer doing HTML, or is it because you use plain text only? Like, yeah, we would love to know. It's just an interesting factoid.
Love it.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. Love it. All right, y'all.
Okay, looks like we have a lot of custom designs, and
which is wonderful.
Have a designer. Okay, yeah.
All right, looks like we got a first one coming up from Kyra. You want to know, because there's so much, she want to know, because there's so much competition to reach inboxes during Black Friday, what do you recommend is the best time to send these emails? Feel free to answer after you speak. Y'all, Julia, Natalie? This
is a good question.
I think it depends so heavily on your audience.
I do too.
Right? Like I don't think like the US market, you should never send a Christmas morning, right?
Well, no.
Very true.
I think, is that something you can test beforehand until with your campaigns now, or looking back at what your campaigns have sent before? It's going to depend on your audience. Do they read it on their commute home? This is a pre-remote kind of statement that I'm about to make, but I used to have to commute to work on a train, like if and I would read my emails as I'm going home at 5:30, so then I would get more emails at 5:30 than ever. Or is it, something people do when they first wake up? When do you see that for your audience? I like to send personally between Tuesdays and Thursdays, after 10 a.m. before 3 p.m. But that is
about to
just
ask.
me.
A while ago, I once heard that like Monday morning is the worst time to send an email. Is that still true? Do we know?
I hate
I mean, your
Mondays
inbox
and
is
Fridays, but that's
your inbox is so full. Like, how could you possibly like start your week off by scrolling?
Very true.
Everyone
Also,
hates
too,
Mondays.
that too, but also, we got send time optimization on the Mailgun platform.
We do.
It's not,
We do.
Yeah, another thing you should check out too.
Which
that
I've
can
used, and
help
that's
out.
great.
Yes.
What about Sunday
that can definitely help
afternoon?
out trying to find out that time. I think someone threw in the chat, no Christmas emails. Yeah, don't do that. That's not a smart idea. No one's
That was
gonna read
totally
that
me
email.
joking. That was totally me joking. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and put
Sunday
that out there.
afternoon.
Don't do that.
And I think a lot of it really depends on your brand, right? Like, when are they most active? What are you trying to get across? Like, educational, I think that is a great time for the week because that's when we're really engaged in our computers. Are we trying to sell something? Like, those factors and like previous statistics will really help you answer that. I think it is brand specific.
Yeah, are you having a sale or something? Do you need and is it ending Saturday at midnight? Send something on Saturday. Get their attention. It just depends.
Okay.
All right.
We could probably have a whole webinar on that, to be honest.
We could. And also too, I don't know if y'all saw, but there's a lot of people trying to figure out. I saw some people asking, how do I be fun? How do I be humorous in a financial email? How do I be humorous in different subjects? So maybe that's something that we may need to talk about in the future.
Yeah, maybe.
So we'll get back to y'all on that one with our team.
Our amazing supporting actors, write that idea down because I would love to do that.
Yeah, for sure,
I love humor.
Okay, let's see here. Brooke wanted to know, are there any other ways of testing strategies you would recommend other than A/B? Julia?
I mean, yeah, but why not? I mean, A/B is just like a way to say it, right? Like, it's just a way to say that you're testing something. So, even if you're not doing it against each other in the same campaign, you could do okay, we're going to send our blog newsletter out this Thursday at 9 a.m. And we're going to see, just across the board, no subject line, no other test. It's just like, you're going to see what the engagement is. And then you're going to do that for a couple weeks at 9 a.m. See what the engagement is. And then after that, you're going to switch it to Tuesday at 5 p.m. and see for a couple weeks. So it's just kind of a way to, I think A/B, don't get stuck on the naming, but if I'm misunderstanding, please write in the chat that I'm misunderstanding your question. But there are, different ways. And A/B, it's not just two things either. You could do in Mailjet, I think you could do up to 10, right? You can do up to 10 subject lines. And in Mailjet, you can also do the content, two different types of content, probably more, but I'm thinking too. So
I would also say you could probably use other channels to test messages and see. I mean, I love data. I'm a big fan of data. So utilizing the most recent visits to your website or certain parts of your website and understanding when people are active there might, and what content they're clicking on the most within your website or your marketing site. Also your social media posts, when are people interacting or what messages are they interacting with the most, and extract that kind of stuff and then test that in emails. I think really looking at it from a macro brand strategy can help you really test with that.
Yeah. An omni-channel approach, if you will.
An omni-channel approach.
Omni-channel approach. Love it. Love it.
I love the fact that everyone in the chat is joking that we're all sending at the same time. So maybe we should all start varying our send times.
Send time optimization is key.
Yep, it is. All right, moving on here, shall we? Okay, Julie, this might be another one for you. Henry wanted to know, how can you mitigate formatting issues when a subscriber applies or forwards your email?
You can't.
This is a pain point.
You can't. Especially with Outlook. Woo! Oof.
Ugh.
I don't know if I'm the right person to ask that. But I will find out and I can get back. But I'm gonna be honest with you, from what I'm thinking, unless you're doing like something with plain text, and even plain text, it's gonna look weird. I don't think there are ways to mitigate that. Really don't.
All right, moving on here from After Henry's. Let's see. I like this one. Coming in from Tanya. She wanted to know, is there a way to send emails based on time zones without having to segment the list according to locations?
Are we talking for Mailjet specifically, I'm assuming, Tanya? Natalie, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, it is definitely a tricky one. I think you can use dynamic content. So, but when you're talking about like you want to send to an email, or sorry, if you want to send specifically to a region with the same email and then a different region at a different time, segmentation is going to be your best bet. You could also split into different campaigns or use dynamic content. There's a lot of ways to play around with that. I know we send to different regions a lot. We are international, our biggest, we're EU strong, US as well. So from what I understand, Julia, we kind of we schedule differently. We have two kind of messages and schedule them at those times.
Yeah. And like Thomas said, there's also mailgun send time optimization of when the recipient reads it the most or is more likely to read it, then it'll send at that time. So yeah, there's a few ways to work around it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think scheduling is your best bet with those emails.
For sure. Okay. This one I wanted to cover because look, our amazing sport team, Ilya and Alex, are actually hammering away at some of these other, deeper technical questions. But there was one that did get answered, and I want to cover for all of us. But Laura wanted to ask, there's the URL. But Laura wanted to ask, what strategies or techniques do you recommend to make subject lines more compelling and engaging? We also dropped in here our blog posts on these subjects, but. Julia and Natalie, you got any suggestions as well on recommending making subject lines more compelling, more engaging, more humorous?
Yeah.
Humorous. Yeah. What strategies or techniques do you recommend subject lines to make? I don't bury the lead in subject lines. Like I just say like it is. And here's the thing: you could do that, or you could be clickbaity. Which one are you afraid to be clickbaity? Are you going to get scorned for being clickbaity? I think it depends on what your message is overall, or like what your goal is for the email. If it's something like just like a blog newsletter or something with content, I'll probably be a little bit more clickbaity than a product announcement or something. Also, pay attention to the length of your subject line. Huge, right? Don't get too wordy. I do use some sort of tool to see, I forget what it's called. It's like emailsubjectlinegrader.com. I don't know if it's legitimate, so if you work there and you're here, please let me know. But it like
someone threw in subjectline.com into the chat.
I just look at like the number of characters you have when you test it in your inbox. How does it show up? And then also like don't forget to use your pre-header to your advantage too. Most of the time people are going to see the pre-header, so it's just an extension of your subject line. So make sure those are working in tandem.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like that subject line, getting straight to the point, telling me why you're emailing me, and is going to get me to open it so much faster, right? Like we're all busy. We want to know why you're emailing, and the clickbaity loses me every time. But in general, I think that clickbaity really, like we've been all trained on how to spot those kind of messages. But that subheader is like crucial information.
Yeah. Someone's suggesting an emoji. If emojis are on brand for you, go right ahead. Use an I love a colon. You'll notice in my subject lines, I love a colon, like an M dash to delineate something.
Oh, a pun every time. A pun will get me to open your email. If you're marketing to me, use a pun.
And you know what won't, and I'll say this goes out to sales emails, but you know what won't get me to open an email is when you overuse customization. If you get too creepy on the customization, I'm not opening that. Yeah, it's just not.
Julie and I were just talking about that.
Mhm.
Like personalization done wrong.
Yeah,
Like
that's
we saw you
something we may need to talk about in the future. Personalization in email done wrong. That's
yeah.
I got an email from Nextdoor, and they had images from the feed in the email, and both of us were like, "Ooh, that's
creepy."
I don't know how I feel about that.
No. Speaking of the topic, I wanted to talk about this because our amazing support team actually answered this one, but I think it's very, very viable. VJ wanted to know, which one should we give importance, image or content? Well, the official that we recommend should be about 30% to 70%. You want to comment on that really quick?
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think too big of images or images not coded correctly, you're going to land in spam. Text that is part of an image and not live text, going to go to spam, and it's not accessible. So, have a good balance. Have it readable. Just pay attention.
For sure. Okay, let's see. All right, Alex, we got time for just about a few more because we can't completely take up Natalie and Julia's day because, we do have to get back to our, work, but because we love hanging out with y'all. It's always fun. Let's see. Julia and Natalie, is there any ones that you think I might have missed in here? Let's see. Scrolling through.
Let's see.
Oh, there's so many good ones in here. We got to a lot of them. Oh, how about this? This one came in from Jessica. She wanted to know, can you repeat what you're using to create the pre-built emails? I think we mentioned something earlier.
I'm using Mailjet. Those pre-built emails that I was using earlier was through mailjet.com. We have pre-built templates. We add to our template libraries. There's also a lot of resources out there. Really Good Emails has good ones as well. So a ton of resources for templates out there for pre-built templates. But in our example today, and in the demo link that I shared, it's Mailjet creates those and provides them to our users.
Speaking of, Natalie, can you redrop that link in the chat for our viewers? Y'all check this demo out. It's pretty cool. You don't have to sign up like right now, but you get to play with the whole thing and you get to see it, mess around with it, try some of these things out, get your hands on it. It's pretty fun. Check it out.
I will say it's not the full functionality of the in-app experience. We do, if you want to get that full functionality, you can sign up for a free account and play around. But I will definitely drop that link in so you can get a feel for our editor as soon as I can find it again.
It was pretty deep buried in our chat, because we have so many good viewers that are here hanging out with us today. So that's what matters importantly. So. But awesome, y'all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Natalie and Julia, I want to thank y'all for coming by, hanging out, talking to our wonderful viewers, talking about holiday email campaigns. Lots of things coming up. Lots of we got Black Friday, we got Cyber Monday, we got Small Business Saturday, we got Thomas Tuesday and all that coming up. So I just want to thank y'all both for being here and answering some questions for our amazing viewers. And also let's give a shout out to our amazing support team, Ilya and Alex, and also Kara and Dale and Laura helping out with some resources out in the chat. So big shout out to them. Also shout out to our viewers from all over the world. Thank you for watching and wherever the heck in the world you are. And let me see here. I want to throw one more poll up for you guys. This is something that I wanted to do. Let me see here. I actually didn't, kind of forgot to do this, but I'll throw it up here because I really want to know y'all's opinion. So we're thinking about doing another webinar coming up pretty soon. So what I want to know from y'all is, when would you watch our next webinar? Would you watch it in December or would you watch it in January? So let me throw that up here in a second. So when would you?
We're all about giving the people what they want. What works best for you?
Yeah. We want to hear from sooner. Oh, ooh. Jacqueline right here is winning my heart in this chat. Like the humor, the love, I'm here for it.
All right.
Also, while you're stepping away, I did throw my LinkedIn and my Twitter in the chat if you want to stay connected. I love hearing from y'all. And I think this email community is great.
Amanda, after our own heart.
Yes, we love hearing that.
There we go. There we go. Oh, goodness gracious. Why isn't this? Come on.
He's working on it.
Okay.
He's just giving you guys the time to think about your schedule. Check your calendars. When do you? That's all he's doing.
Cool. Oh, this poll is not going through, y'all. Yeah, throw in the chat. Let me see. Right now, let's do a real quick one. If you're in the chat, I want to see. Would you rather watch our next webinar in early December or early January? Let's see. Throw it in there. Next week. Not next week. It's Halloween. We're gonna be celebrating. So.
Right? Once a month.
Let me see.
Oh.
Let me see, y'all. Let me see. December or January? Let's see.
December and January.
Okay.
Looks like we're getting a consensus here, y'all.
Oh, okay. All right, y'all. All the months. All the months. Maybe we'll see on the. I don't know if we can do summer. I like summer vacation. So. Okay, cool, y'all.
Awesome.
December. This sounds like December. Okay, so guess what? I guess we're gonna have to see you guys in December, which I'm happy about.
Not have to. We're happy to see you in December.
Yeah, we'll be there. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to thank you so much, Julia, Nally. Thank you again. Thank you for being here. Anything
thank
last
you.
notes?
Yeah, no, just thank you for hosting these wonderful events.
Awesome. Make sure you follow them on social media if you're on Twitter, LinkedIn, all that fun stuff with Nally and Julia and myself. And we will make sure to see you guys pretty soon. So it sounds like we're going to see you December 6th. So we will see you soon. I just want to wish everyone happy Halloween, happy All Saints Day, happy Dia de los Muertos. And we'll see you guys soon. Take care, everyone.
Thanks,
be good to each
y'all.
other out there. Bye.